Jard is sponsored by 5thegamer, so for all of your headset needs, go to 5thegamer.com and use discount code JARD20 at checkout to receive 10% off your next order. Jard is also partnered with XTiffy, so for all of your GTA resources, go check out xtiffy.com, that's XTIFFI.com. We do have our own website complete with a full episode catalog, merch, and more information about each of our cast members, so you can find that at jardpodcast.com. We are also on Patreon, so to become a patron, go to patreon.com/jardpodcast.
I'm inside your ear.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jard.
Hi.
I'm inside my ear. Oh. I can't get out of that. Hi. I'm inside your ear. Okay. I'm glad I know that now.
Well, because Amber specifically asked me to, I'm not going to ask how everyone's week is going.
I'm going to tell you anyway.
Fog my glasses.
I just want to talk about the thing that's made me happy this week. That's all.
Well, if it's made you happy, then I want to hear it.
Go for it. Yeah.
It has. The thing that has made me happy this week is all of the butthurt conservative Christians that I have gone to high school with that are bitching and complaining on Facebook all about Lil Nas X. And I find it so hilarious. And there's many reasons why, and I feel like I have more than precedence to speak on this, as does Jess. As a queer kid, more specifically, a queer kid that has grown up in the South in the Bible Belt, Lil Nas X has done exactly what everyone has painted and told him that is going to happen. He's going to go to hell for being gay. He does that, and he twerks on the devil, and he takes over. Like, if you actually watched the video and you thought with more than the 2 brain cells that you use the most often, and actually look at something as more than just a music video with Satan in it. Like, no, look at it. Learn what a metaphor is, for one. Like, there's so much symbolism in it, and it matters, and it especially matters to queer kids growing up. Like, the people that are complaining on my Facebook are the same ones that were twerking in the middle school gym to, what was that song by Ludacris, face down, ass up, that's the way I like to So, if Lil Nas X wants to get on his album and say how he wants to shoot a child in a guy's mouth while he's riding, go for it. Go for it, baby.
Whoa.
I don't care. That's the kind of representation that we need, because guess what? There was no songs like that when I was growing up.
Not for gay kids.
Not for gay kids. Not for gay kids. And it just... getting so upset over Lil Nas X and getting so upset over shoes, what y'all don't understand is that he's taken everything...
He's a troll.
One, he's a troll, but not only that, he's taking back the power. He's taking back, oh, you've thrown this at me, I'm going to throw it at you, and I'm going to throw it at you harder. Like, yeah, I'm with him stay mad and go to hell yourself. That's what's made me so happy, is everyone's so upset over Lil Nas X, and I've been blasting Call Me By Your Name on repeat. I think it's wonderful. I think that everything in that video, all the symbolism, all the metaphors, if you just... And see, that's another thing, too. Like, everyone wanted to pick on, like, the theater kids and growing up. Well, guess what? We're smart enough to realize the story that he's telling. But y'all ain't trying to hear it. And you never tried to hear it. That's just what's made me happy. I've been thinking about it all day.
So, I thought you were going for the makeup.
Yeah,
I mean, that too.
I did.
Admittedly, I didn't know about the makeup until today. But in terms of my week, yeah, this is what's been making my week, is just watching straight white people get upset on Facebook. It's just made it for me. I'm like, stay mad.
I honestly could not have put any money or bets on that is what was going to make it happy. I really couldn't.
I'm full of surprises, baby.
Oh, you are. You are.
Wow.
That's my rant. I just love seeing it. We didn't have that kind of representation. I know I didn't, apart from the L word, maybe. But in terms of, like, mainstream, we didn't have that.
Oh, please.
Right? We didn't have that kind of representation, like, growing up in songs. And all the songs were about straight people and other straight people. Like, the world is evolving. It's inclusive. Get the over it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I ruined so many female relationships being in the closet because I was scared to come out. Like, feeling like you so much can't be yourself that you, like, set yourself up for failure with other people. And I mean, don't get me wrong, my life turned out fine, turned out the way that it was supposed to. I'm very, very happy in that. But if I'm at least a little bit grateful and a little bit more hopeful that my son is coming into a world that's going to be more inclusive, where whoever he decides who he is going to be loved, he's going to be cared for, and he's going to be represented. And I guarantee you, half the that happened to and was said to me will never be said to my son, at least not from me.
Mm.
I did see a post on Facebook regarding this topic a couple days ago. You may have seen it, Amber. I don't know. It's not very long, but I'll I'll go ahead and read it since you're talking about this. It says, this is by, I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. It looks like it's a bunch of initials, so whatever. Y'all wrote the script. You keep telling queer kids they're going to hell. You keep weaponizing your religion. You abuse, you exploit, you shun, you scapegoat, you harm, and you demonize. Unfortunately, some never escape your toxicity. Some hide themselves, some take their own lives, or they live lies. And that's how you want it. But some break free, they live out, they live proud, they speak out, they survive, and they flip your raggedy script. Lil Nas X got y'all shook because he took all y'all's poison and made a tonic, and he'll save black, most importantly, queer lives with it. That's not how you want it, but you don't get to author our lives anymore, so take those clutched pearls and go to hell. I said what I said.
Absolutely, 100%.
And can we talk about his looks in that video? Because
oh, they served. Every last one of them. Every last one of them.
Like, anyway. I just watched the video for the first time the other day, so I was like, damn, what the
Wow, you look good.
I don't care about the imagery. Just what the is going on with the makeup? It's lit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say right now. I'm gonna say right now. I stand by everything that you've both just said. However, Dougie, if you don't mind me speaking on your behalf here, I've got a feeling Dougie and I have no idea what the are referencing. Not a damn clue. But with what you said, damn right support it. So yeah. But I feel like me and Dougie could probably just go right now.
Sure, yeah. No, I've heard of Lil Nas, but
Oh, I
That's
haven't.
As far as it goes.
I haven't.
I've heard the name.
Yes, you
Hold
have,
on,
Ryan.
technical
It's Old
issue.
Town Road.
Yeah, Old Town Road. But he came out with a new
okay.
song called Call Me By Your Name, and it's wonderful.
Right, okay.
And everyone's mad because in the video he's lap dancing on the devil, but
Okay, you're glossing over this here. He like fireman pole rides a stripper pole into hell and lands pretty much on the devil's lap, and then he like gives the devil a lap dance, and then he kills the devil and takes over hell.
I mean, isn't that how we're all entering hell?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
In a stripper pole.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine entering hell through any other medium.
No. No.
If you think I'm not going down there doing a split on a stripper pole in some high heel boots, you got me up.
I'm going down dressed
And
as...
I better land on some dick. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going down dressed as Patrick Star, you know, with the shorts, and then his fishnet stockings with the massive high-heeled boots. You know, that image that he has. I'm going down with that. What's Amber doing?
my laptop, it's not charging, and it says I have 6 minutes left.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. Hold on.
Nice close up of her makeup, by the way.
Thanks.
My only...
For our watchers, that is the Lizzie McGuire collection from ColourPop.
Oh my goodness, what is happening? It's plugged in. I don't know what to do.
My only backup solution is, do you want to quickly throw out your urban legend in the next 6 minutes? Set a record.
Yeah,
for...
that won't happen.
Set a record for...
Oh, son of a bitch. Jessica fixed it.
Wow, you're such a dad.
I'm such a dad. Anyway.
But please, Amber, was it not plugged?
I don't even want to discuss what the issue was.
Did you pull a me? Like, is it something I'd do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amber's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's not working. And I walk in and the cord is not plugged into the adapter.
Oh, Amber, that's such a me
Yeah,
thing.
it's me.
That's a
Anyway.
Yeah. I feel you.
But yeah, no, good close up of my makeup that everyone got. Thanks to Jess, another thing I'm excited about.
I noticed when I turned this way earlier, you could kind of see my glitter. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see mine with this light. But it's all on the side of my face. I went ham.
Ryan, what are you doing?
Call his ass out. Call his ass out.
What?
What are you doing?
I received a message and I was reading it.
Was it on Tinder?
Oh. That went dry.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if it was Tinder, you need to slide that toxicity filter off.
For real.
No, it went dry, so I moved it to a separate folder on my second home screen. So it has been forgotten about. Like, I've read the message. I don't want to leave them on red now, but I also don't want to get called out again by Jess.
Who was it?
Never you mind who it was.
Was it a girl?
It may have been somebody of the opposite sex to me, yes.
We'll discuss it after the podcast.
Permission to reply, or am I still not allowed to?
It depends.
On?
It depends. Is it one of the two?
No.
Okay then, go
And
ahead.
we're
Thank
good.
you. I like how I understood that reference immediately, and normally I'm the slowest here.
We'll still grill you after we record.
Oh, I know. I don't like that. Don't watch me. I'm still listening. God damn.
Oh, I don't believe that for a second.
Jesus.
With your brain capacity, there is no way you're able to multitask. I'm sorry.
I can multitask. Minimalistic. Like, I can listen, but then I've got to be careful that I'm not typing what I'm listening to.
Yeah, but there's listening and there's listening.
Like you hear us, but you're not listening.
Are you not understanding
Yeah,
what we're talking
I
about?
listen, but I don't listen.
Yes.
Yeah, quality content
We know.
right here. For fuck's sake. Oh
Can
my
you send this message already so we can get on with it? My God.
No, please continue. You are now pressuring me. I haven't even read the full thing yet.
Amber's about to start. She's not going to start with you on
Story
your phone. That's
time.
rude.
Story time, baby. Story time.
Story time. You have
You're
my...
like, yeah, Amber, just tell your story.
You have my 100%. No matter how limited it is, my 100%
I better have your attention.
Oh, you got my attention. You scared the out of me.
That sounded horny. That didn't sound scared.
It sounded both horny and scared.
At the same
Which
thing.
is his normal.
Yeah, yeah.
Every day, just about.
I'm terrified, but I'm always horny. So yeah. Hi.
Well, boys, my last topic for our season of Urban Legends is a local one to me and Jess. So much so that me and Jess have been on a couple of adventures trying to
67 times.
a few adventures trying to investigate it ourselves. We are going into the Vander Light.
Ooh.
My sources are ncghostguide.com, geocaching.com, and I've got a couple of stories from people with personal experiences. This is going to include mine and Jess's excursions as well.
Nice.
First, I kind of want to describe the town of Vander before I actually get into the story. Vander, super, super small. If you're driving through it and you blink, you've missed it.
Wait, where is it?
Vander is right outside. I mean, would you consider that outside of Fayetteville or that whole Vander area?
Okay, I know Cashwell's is considered Vander. So Miss Sudi's, that's considered Vander?
Yes. And like through that whole stretch, there's one it's not even a traffic light, it's a caution light.
Yeah.
You don't
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, you gotta stop, but there's like nothing stopping you to keep on going
It's
besides
just
the stop sign.
Wow.
Like,
A stop sign light, that's what it is.
and that's it. But even within the little town of Vander, kind of everything is centered around the idea of the Vander Light and or our nearby high school, good old Cape Fear. For real. like in Mysteries, like, isn't there like the Vander Light Grill and like that? Like, the Vander Light isn't not known to our, like, it's a pretty common urban legend that's told around here, and a lot of people have experiences with it. The story itself, it's very short, very cut and dry what happened. It's a little, I'll say that my dates are a little askew because it happened so long ago. So the incident itself happened anywhere from the mid-1800s to the late 1800s. But reportings of the Vander Light itself have at least dated back to the 1930s. I'll go ahead and just read my short little little summary here. It was a dark and stormy night, and the ticket master at the Vander train station, his name was Archer Matthews. He found himself just completely alone at the train station. There was a train that was supposed to be coming, but he realized he had a little bit of time. Now, as a ticket master in that time, of course, his duties, grabbing tickets from people, making sure people got on their right trains. Another part of his job, because back then, not a whole lot of electricity going on, the way that he would flag trains that were oncoming, he would hold out a lantern. That lantern would let the oncoming train know, hey, I've got people here that need to be picked up. So, that's very important to the story.
Okay.
So, he's waiting for this next train to come. He realizes that he's got a little bit of time. So, he decides to take his lantern, kind of walk around on the train platform and have a smoke break. Smoke a cigarette. As he's waiting and smoking his cigarette, he kind of hears something on the other side of the platform. And so he tries to investigate. And again, got his little lantern with him, and he's kind of leaning towards the edge of the platform to listen for what he can hear. And what he doesn't take into account is how slippery the platform itself is.
Oh boy.
As he's trying to listen, he slips. Falls completely onto the train tracks. When he does this, boom, lantern gone. Cracks his head. He becomes unconscious on those train tracks. Now, being that there's no lantern, he's unconscious on those tracks. Here comes the train that was supposed to come just within the time of his smoke break. The train conductor, he sees that there's no light at that lantern. There's no lantern light at that station, so he's like, all right, cool. I don't have to stop. He doesn't stop. He keeps going. By the time that he's even able to see that Archer Matthews is on the train tracks, it's far too late. He tries to stop. The train is not stopping in time. In the process, it decapitates Archer Matthews. Mm-hmm. So.
Yikes.
Yeah, so Archer killed instantly, obviously. And now what the urban legend is that if you're walking along those train tracks, you can see a light. And actually, there's the chance that you might actually see two lights. One being a lantern light, that being Mr. Archer Matthews using the lantern to try to look for his head.
Okay.
Or the second light is the faint glow from his cigarette.
That would be very faint.
Okay.
So now some people have reported seeing both sets of lights. Excuse me. I feel like I want to talk about other people's personal experiences before I go into the experiences that me and Jess went into. So my father-in-law, Jess, do you remember when we were talking about like the layout of that whole stretch of train, like back in the day, like kind of where the train station used to be, and the fact that they had like two sets of train tracks?
Yeah.
Okay. Back when both sets were there, because now there's only one set of train tracks. Back when there were two sets, that's when my father-in-law went, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure of the man's memory. I'm not sure if maybe he forgot that he told me he saw the light. I had dinner with him last night, and he was saying, because at one point he told me he saw the light. As of last night, he swears up and down he didn't see it. He's kind of under the impression now that his friends were just with him, because of course they yeah, I know that's the look I gave him too, because he said you know, it was him with a group of buddies, of course, you know how boys out here be doing, you know, he had him a few beers, and he was actually saying that there was actually like a train car actually still sitting on one of the tracks, and his buddies had like put like a case of beer on the outside of it, and my father-in-law, being him at the time, just walks up to it and goes to grab a beer, and his other buddy was hiding in the car to scare the living shit out of him.
Oh my God.
Which, that's kind of the idea of when you go looking for that light, you're going looking for spooky shit.
Yeah.
So it was enough to scare him. I think he said that he went out a couple times. I even asked him what time of night he went. He said that he was out there at like 8-9 p.m. I don't know. He could have been saying that just to save face for, you know, not wanting to tell his daughter-in-law all the shit he used to do as a teenager.
I feel like he doesn't really feel as though he saw it, though, because it seems like, because I've talked to a couple of people about it too, and it seems like the general consensus of people seeing that light is that the story ends with they're never going back there again.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like if he felt like he really saw it, he would have been making repeated trips.
He says that he went twice, and that's all. Now, I did talk to another friend of mine. I feel like part in doing my research with she was the first encounter that I got. Shout out Cece. She was talking about how she went with a group of people. Of course, they're in high school. She was told, and I couldn't find really any validity to this. I was worried about it when we first went out on our excursion to go look for the Vander Light. She was under the impression that Archer Matthews was not a fan of cursing, and that especially of women folk cursing. And she was told this whenever they went to go look for that light. And, you know, of course, it's a bunch of high schoolers. They tell her, oh, by the way, Archie doesn't like cussing. Bunch of high schoolers drinking. She says that they start to see the light. And, of course, it scares the out of everyone. And what's one thing that you do when you're scared shitless? You start cussing.
Yep.
What the what the hell, you know, things like that. She says in that instant, the light turned red.
Whoa.
She, so far, is the only person I've heard of to say that the light turned red.
I've seen a couple of accounts of a red light as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean...
It's kind of a mixed bag of...
Yeah,
light colors, really.
Oh, I've got one in here that I have from... I won't disclose her name, just because I didn't ask her if I can use her name, and I think she's got a name of a friend in here. I'll try and skip that. But I'm going to try and read the message that she sent me. This is someone else, because what I did was I went on Facebook and I said, hey, anyone local to the area, if you have any experiences with the Vander Light, please message me. And I did get quite a few messages, and I even got messages from people that were like, hey, I don't have any experience, but, you know, I was always told as a kid, and, you know, people that actually, like, lived, like, closer to the train tracks. I had one girl message me and say that, you know, when her family would walk on the train tracks, that was kind of always the running joke, but they never actually saw anything. But I'll go ahead and read this one that I got. And this one spooked me a little. I won't lie, it spooked me a lot because of one certain detail in here. The The first few times, there was a bunch of us that went, and it seemed shy. A little round orb of light would drag back and forth way down the path, but never enough to really get a good look. But there was one night when it was just one car full of us. We drove down a ways, and it was a full moon, because I remember saying to friend's name, that even as bright as the moon was, the path was pitch black, even when there were no trees. Kind of creepy, we decided to turn the car around and start heading back from the way that we came. I remember this so vividly. One of my friends threw out a cigarette, and as soon as he did, the whole underside of the car lit up with light, and we looked around the window, and this orb of light was basically sitting on the tailgate. We all freaked out and drove like 40 miles down these train tracks, and it chased us all the way back to the road. Not sure if we pissed this thing off or if it was having a bad night, but it was moving pretty fast and seemed angry. I don't know if you remember me saying in the story, but Mr. Archer was going for a cigarette break. So, if they're, especially on a full moon night, I will say that's probably the one thing that me and Jess missed the mark on. We didn't go on a full moon both times that we. Well, it was almost a full moon, but it wasn't a true full moon.
It was like 99%.
It was really close. Super close. But as soon as she said that, as soon as they threw out that cigarette and then the light started chasing them, that's when I was like, oh, shit.
I do have thoughts on this story. Where were they, like, on that section of the tracks where there was a path for them to drive their car alongside the tracks?
From what she made out to me, they were driving on the tracks. And I mean, with a truck, depending on how big you know how people around here do with trucks. Depending on the truck, it was...
Those tracks are still in use.
I didn't say it was a smart idea.
Oh my god, fill in the blank name friend, what is wrong with you?
So those were some of the personal encounters that I was approached with. Like, again, with my friend Cece, with her saying that the light turning red and it's starting to chase her. And then this person here saying that as soon as I threw out the cigarette, that's when the light started to chase. I'm like, clearly...
He just wanted a cigarette.
He may have just wanted a cigarette. I don't know. Clearly, this thing does get a little bit triggered if it feels the need to start chasing people. Clearly.
Yeah.
So, now I guess we can start talking about mine and Jess's experience looking for this light. We went out twice. Somewhat with a game plan, at least the first night. I feel like the second night we went, we could have had a little bit of a better game plan, but that was my fault, honestly. But we parked our cars at a walking trail that's in Vander, and it's right beside the train tracks. We got on the train tracks, started booking it, just started walking. This is what freaked me out the most. The first night that we went, we had another friend with us named Hannah. Shout out Hannah and her husband and her husband's podcast. But Hannah, we got to a certain point of the train tracks, and at first I thought it was just me. There was a part of the train tracks that we were walking along where my eyesight got hazy as hell for what seemed like no reason. Like, it seemed like everything just started to kind of get, like, blurry and fuzzy. And I said, guys, I'm not trying to be, like, funny. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I was like, is anyone else's eyesight with them, or is it just me? And Hannah was like, no, it's me too. I thought it was just me.
Whoa.
So it can be kind of spooky, especially going at the time of the night that we went. It is super, super dark. Especially where we were walking, there were just trees all on either side. So I mean, there's just a lot of blackness. There were a lot of things within the pathway that were, we'd see something, we'd walk a little closer. Oh, it's a reflector. Oh, it's something else. The very last time that we went, I didn't get quite as close as Jess did. Only because my poor husband was getting spooked. And he stopped a little bit along the trail, and I'm not one to leave him behind. So I stopped and stood with him, and we said that we would just, wait until everyone kind of walked back with us or back towards us, and then, then we'd walk with the group back to our vehicles. And I've said it, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, honey, I promise I won't make you go look for this light a third time.
Please don't take him. Yes, please don't take him again, because now that because I didn't know that he was scared, because the whole time last time he was the one telling me, no, that's just a house down the tracks. That's just a house. That's just a house. So we need to turn around. We need to go back. It's just a house. And I'm like, it's not. Let's go see. But we ended up turning around and leaving because Alan told everyone it was just a house. Yeah, it turns out he was just scared.
Yeah, he absolutely was scared. He doesn't do spooky shit. The only reason why he went is because he didn't want his wife out at past midnight, seemingly by herself, looking for a ghost light. He wanted to be protective of me, but he was also a little bit of a weenie, and it's fine. But so the light that we did see, that my husband was saying, oh, that's a house light, that's a house light, that's a house light. Jess, you got a bit closer than I did. And you spoke to someone who kind of maybe confirmed that maybe it was the light.
Oh, I think now that it was the light. At the time,
mm-hmm.
when last time we went, it was me, you, our friend Hannah, her husband Mike, Charles, and Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I feel like we did see that light the first time, but that time as well, Alan was like, no, that's just a house down the way.
Yeah, and we definitely didn't get as close to that same light either.
No, we didn't. But I did not remember seeing that light the first time. And then there was definitely the light there the second time. But it was way, way, way down the tracks, a mile or two at least.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very small. I could at least tell it was yellow. But it didn't. We were so far away. What people say about the Vander Light is that when you get close to it, it looks like it's moving or like it's swaying, like a lantern swaying in someone's hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We did not get close enough because Alan convinced everyone that it was a house. So even though me and Mike wanted to go ahead, everyone else was like, no, let's turn around. It's just a house. So I'm like, whatever. So anyway, next day or something, we were just, I know that I was very frustrated with feeling like we still had not seen, because it seems like everyone in Fayetteville has some experience, whether directly or secondhand, with this particular phenomenon. I mean, if you live in Fayetteville, you can pretty much approach anyone on the street and they'll either have experience with the Vander Light or they know someone who has experienced something with the Vander Light. It's that common. Right. So it was very frustrating leaving that second night and feeling like we hadn't seen it because so many other people have seen it. It's like, what are we doing wrong? The first night, Amber kind of did the opposite of hedging our bets because she took a Guardian Protection coin in her pocket.
Yeah,
even though we were going ghost hunting.
Yeah, I did it because I wanted us all to be protected. Again, it's very late at night and dark, and if you know anything about Fayetteville, there are crazy people here, and there are people here that will just
People, yes.
they just be shooting and you know.
People
Especially-
don't care about coins, Amber.
They don't care about coins, but I thought the coin would protect us. Second night we went, I took my little tiger's eye bracelet and that was it. I was like, if this doesn't save us, then nothing will.
Nothing's gonna.
It just felt like we were getting edged. Like that first night, there was the whole like foggy, weird thing that went on for those few minutes. It felt like when people talk about the veil between this side and the other side, like
Yeah.
death. Like the veil, if that is a thing, that night, it felt like we were literally pressing our faces into a veil. Like, right there. It felt like it was right there on the other side. And there was just something that was not right about that night. That was why we didn't see it. But then the second night that we went, it was like, I kind of went into it not really expecting anything because of the first experience.
Right.
But I mean, I still believed it. Like, that first night didn't, like, keep me...
Oh, I
awake.
100% believe it.
Yeah, but the second night, it just seemed like we went in it a little bit more aloof, I guess. Like, a little less serious.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost a full moon. It was a day before a true full moon, so I thought that would kind of help out. But yeah, so, leaving out of that second one, I think we were all very frustrated. At least those of us who had gone twice at that point. Because it's like, how have we not seen this? Like, this is our second visit. Like, what are we doing wrong? Like, all these other random people who have seen this, they could not have been thinking of specifics when they saw it, the way that we've been thinking of specifics.
Yeah.
So I put a post on Facebook, and I asked people for direct experience with the Vander Light, not a story of a story or a story of a story of a story. You know what I mean? Like, someone who had directly dealt with it. And I did get a few responses. I will admit I am terrible about messaging, so I got a few responses, but I actually ended up messaging one person that responded, so... Sorry, you guys. I meant to message you, and I just...
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Say love you, baby. So, yeah. I spoke with Jamel Barnett. We went to school with him. I think he was a grade below me or whatever. But yeah, he did go look for the Vander Light. I think maybe he might have been a teenager, so it was when we were in high school. He and a couple of friends went. He actually tagged, I guess, the friends that he went with on the status. And he was like, guys, you remember this? And they were like, yeah, that was wild. And there was another one who was like, oh man, we're never doing that again. And I'm like, what happened here? So I messaged him, and at first I got a little discouraged because I was like, okay, I need specifics. I need, like, what time of day was it? What was the weather like? What time of the year? Where did you start the journey on the tracks? Like, did you start at the park? Like, where'd you start? So he told me they went around the same time of night that we did.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said they went in probably springtime. He said it was warm. But he did say that they started where we started, near the walking trail. And at first I was discouraged because I was like, man, that's where we've been starting, but we've not seen it yet. And he's like, well, no, you have to go, like, kind of far down. He's like, we went down probably a mile or two before we saw it.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, the first night, we went down the tracks to the tree line near, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Amber, but I think it was near Sid's Mill Road.
Yes.
Or, I was like, yeah, so we went to the tree line, but then we turned around and went back that first night. I was like, and the second night, we went down past Locks Creek Church. I was like, almost, like, halfway just about to Old Vander Road. I was like, and then we saw a light, like, in the distance, probably still another mile or so away, like, yellow or whatever. He was like, that was the light. And I was like, what?
Wow.
I'm like, what? But what? Like, I was just so.
And a lot of things, even for us who have been so close yet so
Bless you.
far
Thank
away, like everything that I've heard about this light is how aggressive it is and how, like, oh, you'll
We
know
should
that
have
thing when
kept
you see
going.
it. We should have.
We should have kept going. I think that would have changed things.
And
But yeah, I'm like,
and I think that if you become a patron on Patreon, We can give you that type of bonus exclusive content when we go back a third time.
Oh yeah, we're going back. We're going back to confirm because I did some geographic research after finding out that we potentially saw the light, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to verify Alan's claims that this is simply someone's porch light. This is just a house down the tracks. So I pulled it up on like Google Maps or whatever, and I'm like, the tracks, they obviously they run a straight as line, right? Okay, so I pull up the tracks, and there is a house between Sid's Mill and Old Vander Road. It's a very awkward looking lot, but there is a house that sits off to the left of the tracks, but it's not right next to the tracks.
It's
But
slightly
where
off
we
kilter.
were, yeah, where we were, like Amber described earlier, we were surrounded by trees on both sides. I don't think we would have seen a light from that house from where we were.
Through those trees.
No, because this light that we were seeing down the track, it looked like it was down the track. It was not off to the side. Like, not even kind of. So I don't know. We're going to go back to verify whether or not there can be light seen from that particular house. But yeah, I don't think so.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Is the station still there, or is that
No.
long gone?
Nope.
I was wondering
Nope.
that as well.
Long gone.
Any of the experiences at the location where the station used to be, or is it just random along the track?
It's kind of, from what I've gathered, it's random along the track. Because he's just moving, he's just looking. He don't know where his head went.
Now, do we know where the station was? Because from what I've read and I understand, it's closer to the walking trail part of the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think it's a little bit further up. But yeah, it's more closer to the walking trail.
yeah,
Was.
Because I would have thought it'd be more localised around where the station was, where he
Yeah.
lost his life.
Yeah.
Because that's
but
more
if he
often
didn't
than
have a
not in
head, he
those
didn't
types
really
of-
know where he's going.
Yeah, but even still, in most cases of ghosts and spirits and stuff like that, they generally will stay within the location that they died, unless they're attached to a certain object. I suppose you could say he was now attached to the railway line in some ways, but
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, you could say.
part of him probably still
Yeah.
was, yeah. But yeah, it's just from all the paranormal stuff that I've seen and whatnot. Generally, most spirits will stay within that specific area
Yeah.
of where they lost their life because of some reasons, but on some occasions they might be attached to a certain object, and that they'll go wherever that object is moved to, sort of thing. So
I will
hence
say,
the
I don't
dolls and
think
whatnot, but
his zone is probably more than a mile and a half.
Yeah, like at most 2.
Maybe, yeah, at most 2. But like
I can.
around the area where we were seeing that light, once it gets past, just past Old Vander Road, the tracks, from what I saw on maps, they curve. So we wouldn't be able to see anything really past that curve. And that's maybe, like Amber said, max 2 miles of tracks visible from the walking trail to that curve. So I don't know.
I can relate to that in a similar instance. There's I'm not very good with distances, but I'd say about half a mile stretch of road, not far from here, and it's reported that if you go, like, people have had experiences, like if you go down there, like if you're driving down this road, at exactly midnight, there'll be, like, if you look into your rearview mirror, there'll be car lights flashing behind you, as if like they want you to pull over. People have said, like, when they've pulled over, they look behind and there's nothing actually there. But then some other people who ignore the lights are being chased down this constant stretch of road, and then all of a sudden they just disappear. So, and that's been reported after like a car crash that happened like decades ago and whatever. So going off of the fact that it can it can span over a distance, yeah, rather than just being stuck into one specific location, like I'm for the fact that it can travel.
I think that particular stretch of railway was just his home, and that's...
Yeah, if it was his sort of domain.
And who knows how far his body got dragged.
Believe it or not, didn't find any information on that.
I'm kind of glad you did.
Yeah, they're probably not
I'm
going to
kind of glad I
It's
didn't
not going to
either.
disclose that, yeah. I mean, you've seen a train with its emergency brakes trying to stop that's still going over a long distance, let alone, yeah. Ugh.
I can't. I
you
can't wait
did
to go
mention-
back.
I can't either.
You did mention that there used to be two lines.
Yep.
So where the station was, did both lines go through the station? Do you know?
Yes. I believe so.
And from there, did they split? Whereabouts in the general area did they split? So which?
There was a split. Jess, help me here. Where that split was? Was it near Old Vander Road? I can't quite remember either.
I didn't even know, like, because I messaged the group the other day and I asked if there was another, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not set, but another, me, you guys. I've got Ryan 19 in there. Another stretch of tracks where there's a second set, because I was looking into it as well, and there were pictures of the tracks, and there were two sets of tracks, and I was trying to figure out where that was, and I was like, are these second tracks still here?
Oh yeah, no, they're
Like,
long
where?
gone.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the second tracks.
I have a question.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I was just
I-
wondering that because you've got that line that's still there. Which one out of the two was the main line used? Whether it's still whether the one that's still there.
I'm pretty
was
sure it's that.
the
Yeah, I'm
original
pretty
main
sure
one?
it's the same one that's still there. Because I mean,
Okay.
and like Jess said earlier, that train track is still in. It doesn't happen often, but those train tracks are still used.
Actually, that was Charles that determined that during our first visit, remember? Because we mentioned that, you know, these might not still be in use, and he crouched down, got, like, squatted on the ground, and he looked at him, and he's like, he touched him, he's like, no, these are still active. And we're like, how do you know, Mr. Charles? And he's like, there's no rust on them. I'm like, okay, Gil Grissom from CSI.
I kind of forgot that was a thing that happened.
That was a thing that happened.
I could just picture Charles doing
I
that.
can
too.
as well. Just like pigs
The
and
full
pigs.
Mr. Railroad
sit down
CSI.
and investigation.
Yeah, just like
You just- Yeah.
still
Who
used.
the thinks of that? And he says, there's no rust on these tracks. They're still in use.
I can picture
Yeah.
Charles doing that. You mentioned, I might be jumping the gun here. You mentioned that you brought home a souvenir.
We did bring home souvenirs. Mine is at my house.
Okay. Is Jess's in her chest?
I don't know. It might be just as yours and your titties.
I don't know. Who wants to come look?
If Jess has hers on hand, she can show it to you. I don't know what she's done with it.
I'll be right back.
Because obviously you slightly showed us 2 weeks ago. At my house. And-
I keep it on my desk now as my little souvenir.
And I had no idea at the
I'm-
time, but now that I know the location you've been to, I think I have an idea, but I'm not 100%. So so I'm kind of curious as to. Oh yeah.
Happy Easter!
We all picked up. Now, I have to specify these train spikes. They weren't,
So they weren't in
Like, we
use.
didn't-
Like, you didn't
yeah,
yank
they
it
weren't
out.
in use. They were ones that were just tossed to the side or, had come loose on their own. We didn't force our ways. It was, hey,
So,
We each found one, and so we each took one
It doesn't
home.
matter where you go along a railway line,
you're
you'll
gonna find
railway
bits.
spikes.
Yeah, not gonna see a news article tomorrow from just outside North Carolina.
Train derailed.
Yeah,
from
train
missing-
derailed. And,
From missing spikes. No, yeah, so I got it as a souvenir and to one up if I feel the need to.
okay.
What, like a miracle performing Jewish man?
And on that note, everyone, happy Easter.
Ryan didn't get that reference.
I don't get
Of
it.
course he did.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
She's talking about Jesus.
How about
Oh yeah.
God, Ryan 19.
I was raised Christian as well. What the wrong with me?
I got it as soon as Jess held it up and went, "Happy Easter." I was like, Jess.
Oh, I didn't even get it then. I thought she was just presenting an Easter gift. Like, I don't know. Oh, me. Oh, dear.
But
Well, just with reference to like time, I know a lot of the paranormal videos that I watch. Supposedly 3 a.m. is supposed to be the haunting hour, but I know you guys aren't going to go out at that
no,
time.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sleep at 3 a.m.
But yeah,
I'm gonna sleep.
A lot of the videos I've seen, supposedly 3 o'clock in the morning is.
Oh, yeah,
their
that's
active
supposed
time,
to
but-
be like the witching hour or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, witching hour, haunting hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's when it's supposed to be most active. But a lot of the ones I've watched, they said it really doesn't matter what time you're there. More often than not, something will happen at any time. But
Yeah.
I think with 3 a.m., there's less chance of anyone else being around, sort of thing, to throw any doubt. But yeah, that's just one of the things. Yeah,
Yeah.
going off all the ones I've watched.
I do want to say there is this paranormal group that is suddenly in the news for Vander Light experiments. What the video you sent, Amber, was from
Yeah.
what, March 23rd or like late March, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
recent, then.
why don't you guys
Yeah.
lay off? This is our topic for right now. Okay.
My friend sent it to me because she knows that's what, my topic is. And she forwarded it on to me, and I was like, son of a bitch.
Like what is that timing?
Yeah.
Because you've had this planned for we've had this planned for a long time.
A little bit.
Since the
It's
season
fine.
So
started.
it's kind of like
What do you know the date that he died?
I don't. Like I said, the
okay.
about the only roundabout date that I could get was that it was in between the mid to late 1800s. But sightings have
Not a
been as
specific
early
month or
as
day.
1930s for the light itself. Yeah, no. There's no record. I tried so very diligently. I could not find anything.
I will say, when you were telling the
I'm
story
gonna
at the beginning,
try.
though, I was getting literal chills. Like I was freaking me out. Like, what the hell?
Honestly,
that
when I
rarely
got-
happens with ghost stories, but that really got me like, whoa, what the.
Oh, I got spooked as soon as I got the message from the girl and her friend threw the cigarette out.
Yeah, that's
And,
what
like,
really
as soon
got
as
me.
she said
Then
that
I was like,
and what
whoa.
happened, I was like, yeah. As soon as she said that, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and as soon as I told her, I said, well, and I let her know. I said, well, I'm gonna tell you why that freaks me out. Did you know that at the time of Archer's death, he was out for a cigarette break? She had no idea.
Ooh.
have any of us smoked during our trips out there? I've always left my cigarettes in the car.
I don't, just because I don't like to walk and smoke. I don't think my lung capacity is okay for that. I know that the first time we went, Hannah did, but then the second time we went, that's when Hannah decided to quit. So, and I know when Alan made his stop, he did, but I imagine that was I imagine that was his I'm scared stress cigarette.
I guess Charles can hear us, and he said he smoked like a
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't want my phone lit up in the chat. Yeah, that's...
I saw it too. I smoked like a mofo.
There we go, yep.
So yes, third trip is coming, which will make for hopefully a good bonus episode.
Yes. And that concludes all three of my topics for season 4. That was my last urban legend.
Not yet. I do want to add this for the listeners. During our first trip out there to find that light, Amber put a great deal of emphasis on no swearing.
I did.
Don't
I did, 'cause
cuss.
I was
He
scared.
doesn't like cussing. He doesn't like women cussing. Don't do it. He'll come after us and he'll kill us. And we get out there, and who was the first person to swear, you guys? It's Amber.
It was me. It was me. It was me. The cursing was me.
I
think I blurted out a what the or something. I can't remember.
I
but
can
yeah.
see that.
Apparently the cussing doesn't affect him as much now anymore. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't close enough.
Probably used to it.
Adapted to the
I was
time.
about to say,
So
we
the
have
next
to
time-
get closer.
So the next time we go and we get closer, we're going to smoke like a cigarette in each hand and then just start cussing.
You're
and just see what happens.
You're literally gonna provoke that. Yeah, cool.
Well, the next time we go,
I don't want to anger him
Well, I
by
mean,
any means.
Jess was in her booty shorts and was telling him to come and get her
Yeah.
ass. So that didn't work.
Okay, I do have to make this note. Each time that we went, Jess was dressed like a gladiator, and she had this baton, and she was just every chance that she got, she was just yanking out that baton. She was wanting to something up, and she did ask for the ghost to come her ass, and nothing happened.
This
I
is
can
true.
vouch for the second
She
trip because
looked-
I was there on video call.
Yeah, we did take Dougie on video. Oh, I forgot about that. We did take Dougie on video, and she looked good doing it. I don't know why he wasn't. I don't know why Archer wasn't
how he
for
resisted,
it, my dude.
we'll never know.
Maybe he saw me as one of those, like, intimidatingly sexy women.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he felt like a nerd around me. It's
He
like,
felt-
"Oh,
he- yeah.
She's so hot. I don't want to talk to her.
I
Well, I
understand.
mean,
yeah.
think about it. He's used to long dresses,
Yeah.
not seeing
Yeah.
ankle.
Yeah.
Not seeing ass cheeks.
No. That would have freaked him right out. I'm not going there. Whoa.
What do I do? What do I do?
This is too
So
much.
next time we go, I'm gonna smoke a lot because I just don't care anymore. That's a long stretch to walk.
Well,
and not
I think
smoke.
I was gonna say I think we're gonna try and park somewhere much closer.
Yes. Yes, that we're not taking Alan because I am not letting him induce mass hysteria for a third time. It's just a house. Let's turn around. Everyone's like, okay. No.
Oh,
Stay the f*** at home.
bless his heart. I love you, honey. I love you so much, and I'm so glad that you went with me to protect me. But yeah, you're not going the next time. I'll protect myself.
Brilliant.
Charles will give me
just-
knives.
I just inhaled spit.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. You know how when you like breathe in too fast, it's
Yeah.
just like a piece of just
Yeah.
spit just hits the back. Yeah.
I don't like it when she does that look. Like the long silence and then just the shifty eye, just like, ooh. I hate that.
Sly grin.
Yeah.
Because she's going to like reminding you that it's your turn next week, dear.
I was gonna say something and I forgot what it was though.
Oh,
Yes, it is my turn.
but it is Ryan's turn.
It is
next
my
week.
turn next week.
Yes.
I totally forgot.
Honey,
Yes.
did you forget how to spell jarred?
Oh. Oh.
You're so pretty.
That felt so good to hear that after that. Like, you just saying that just takes all the pain away immediately right there.
Yeah, no, but you do have a whole ass urban legend to research.
Yeah, I do.
In a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I've already
luck.
got mine planned,
Alright, show off.
but I'm not
Be
doing
more
it.
like Dougie.
You're not doing it, damn it.
It's very rare.
No, I genuinely, I will be honest, I will hold my hands up and say genuinely, I did forget, and I don't have anything planned, so yeah, this week's gonna be busy
Surprise.
for me. Yay.
I remember what I was gonna say now. I was gonna say I don't know about you, Amber. What when we went out there, because I know now where Alan stood in all of it, but not you. I'm kind of surprised with myself at how forward I was with that ghost.
I mean, you did tell it to your ass. So.
Jess says that to everybody, though.
When it comes down to it, okay, people's natural instincts, there's fight, flight, or freeze.
Oh,
That's the secret third option, is freeze. You always hear fight or flight, but it's fight, flight, or freeze. I'm like, maybe it's because we didn't get close enough to it, but I was just like, yeah, let's go get this girl. Let's go. No, you guys, we're not turning around. Come on, let's go get this. But, like, me and Charles went to that zombie house in Myrtle Beach, and I was, like, ready to throw him to the altar and sacrifice himself to save me.
Oh, no. And see, and here's the thing, and I very much should have known how uncomfortable.
No, Ryan.
What?
I know, I saw the little gesture you made. No,
All right.
like, I got scared at that place, and I took off. Like, I left Charles.
I can literally just imagine
was
you just
3
yeeting
rooms
Charles in
away.
that direction whilst bolting in the other one.
I
I
was 3 rooms away by the time you figured out that I was not there.
Yeah, no.
I was gone.
And, you know, my husband's anniversary is so close to Halloween. Our honeymoon, we went to Orlando, and it happened to be when Universal does their haunted horror nights at night. It's where they, you know, kind of shut down certain parts of the park, but then open up others for, you know, haunted houses. And I mean, it's incredibly well done. And I took him through the Evil Dead house because I forgot who I just married. And yeah, he didn't do good. He didn't do good. He didn't do good the entire wait that we had before we had to get into that haunted house. I thought as soon as we got to the entrance, he was going to be like, no, this, you, I want an annulment. And we did go through the house, but he did have to stand behind me, and he was just pushing me. I like this.
Okay.
I like the spooky way more than he does, and you know, so I do feel kind of bad for having him tag along with us these last 2 times, but I promised him I was not going to ask him a 3rd time, and I won't.
Amber, you know how excitable he is with frightening things, and you still brought his biased ass. Look, you know, maybe it was the baton. Maybe that was why I was like, yeah, let's go get this. Let's go get him, you guys.
So
I had
long
this
as
baton.
we
I was
go
like ready to
again-
whoop someone's ass.
We'll go again. We'll bring the baton. We'll leave Alan at home.
The only problem I have with that logic there is the fact, yes, the baton may make you feel big, strong, like, yeah, I can. How are you going to hit a ghost with a baton? Ghost logic shows you can't physically touch them. You can't hurt them.
Is Ryan mansplaining me? You guys?
Yeah, he is.
Yikes.
I've got a feeling Jess is now going to me in the ass because I've just tried to.
With the baton.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you cannot touch them. It matters the confidence that the baton gives you to even approach them to begin with.
Yes. Okay.
I could
Obviously,
just
I'm
see
not
the-
going to Archie up with a baton.
I
He's
could just
lost
see
his
the
head,
ghost standing there
goddammit.
going, what are you
Like,
going to
I
do
would
with
pick
that?
on him.
What's it going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was more for, like, because y'all don't know about Fayetteville. Y'all have not been to Fayetteville.
Yeah,
Like, that's
see-
just...
I've heard
And
enough.
I don't need to say anything
I've heard
else.
enough.
Like, y'all don't... That's
See,
more
that's
than,
my
that's more
my
for
only
like
concern is that going late at night in the country, in the woods, some redneck's gonna see something and shoot first and ask questions later.
I'm not even worried about that. It's that with Vander, it's this weird kind of sweet spot between country and city where it's like, a miscreant or whatever you would like to call them could end up in Vander. So it's kind of like more of like a protection against actual human beings as opposed to protection against Mr. Archie Matthews.
Yeah, we just want to talk to him. We could get him to be a guest.
Show him my butt cheeks. It's fine.
We just want to try and get him to be a guest on the podcast, okay? We're
Well,
trying to network and grow.
We gotta close this out because this episode went on a long time.
Yes, it did.
So we will see you guys next week, and please remember that Jesus is coming tomorrow, but I will be coming tonight. Happy Easter, you guys.
Wow.
Happy Easter!
Happy Easter.
Bye.
Happy Easter, everybody.